You've got claims, we've got answers. Hi, I'm Jonathan with Texas Mutual, and I'm here to answer your most commonly asked claims questions. Let's jump in with a question from Mark in San Antonio.
How do I create a return to work program?
Let's be clear. Return to work is the most crucial element of the claims process. It's Texas Mutual's ultimate goal and should be yours too. After all, it's the best way to control your workers' compensation costs. But many policyholders struggle with the practical element of putting together an effective return to work program. It's important to remember that every case is different, and there is no set blueprint for a return to work plan, but there are some important steps you can take throughout the claims process. Let's use Mark's claim as an example. Mark owns an auto mechanic shop, and unfortunately, one of his employees, Dan, has suffered an injury to his ankle. Let's take a look at what happens when Mark has a quality return to work program and when he doesn't. Mark's return to work program begins with identifying and recording Dan's daily job duties before his injury. For example, Dan's daily responsibilities included working on vehicles, taking parts and inventory, maintaining tools, and offering customer service. Ideally, this would be part of the documentation you already have by way of the job description, but if not, it should be recorded as soon as possible after the accident. Next, Mark gets this information to Dan's treating doctor. The doctor will determine if and when Dan is able to return to work, and having this information will paint a clear picture of what Dan would return to and any limitations he may have. Throughout all this, Mark maintains an open line of communication with both Dan and Texas Mutual. After getting Dan the appropriate medical care, Mark goes about his busy day at work. He waits to hear back about his injured employee. After hearing Dan will be unable to return to his same job immediately, Mark begins to figure out modified duties for when his doctor decides he is able. Determining modified duties can be as simple as finding portions of an employee's job they can still do while injured, or finding a different area they can make a positive contribution. Mark has identified that Dan can handle doing parts inventory and customer service responsibilities. Mark also takes the time to check in with Dan and see how he's doing. After hearing Dan will be unable to return to his same job immediately, Mark decides that it would be in his best interest to hire a new employee to replace Dan. Actually, it's in Mark's best interest to retain Dan as an employee. Not only would Mark lose a valuable employee, the time and expense of hiring and training Dan's replacement could offset any benefit of having someone in Dan's position. Before Dan returns to work, Mark makes a bona fide offer of employment, including his modified duties. It's fine for Mark to make that offer verbally, but it's important to have it in writing as well. To be valid, it must include a Form DWC 73. Dan accepts the offer and returns to work with modified duties. Dan is happy, team morale is high, and business is uninterrupted. Mark's new employee takes over Dan's position at the shop. The new guy costs extra money to hire, and it's weeks before he is acclimated and productive to Dan's level of experience. This situation is not uncommon. In fact, the cost of replacing experienced workers is 50 to 150% of their salaries. Also, if Dan is cleared for light-duty work by his doctor and a position isn't available, Texas Mutual will most likely be required to pay temporary income benefits, which could increase the cost of the claim, and Mark's premium could potentially go up as well. It's clear that when an injury occurs, the best option for Mark and his business is having an effective return to work program. Hopefully, seeing this example will help give ideas for creating a program for your business. But if not, Texas Mutual is here to help. Just call the Safety Services team for tips and strategies for your business. Texas Mutual also provides return to work guide templates that can help kickstart your program as well. Don't wait for an accident to start. Be proactive with your return to work program. Your bottom line will thank you, and so will your employees. Subscribe to Texas Mutual for more videos in our Claims Questions series, and make sure to check out WorksafeTexas.com for more workplace safety training. For even more educational content, visit the Training and Education tab of TexasMutual.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.